Hello and welcome. My name is Marilyn and I'm going to talk about all my knitting things. I've got a finished object I forgot to talk about last time, the Colorwork sweater, and we'll talk about my current work in progress, which is a very exciting endeavor. I'm designing a cotton t-shirt on the fly. First up we have, I didn't show this last time and I probably should have. It is the Ohdake, I don't know how to pronounce it, sweater. It's a Colorwork yoke sweater. The designer is Sari Nordlund. It's just lovely. So the Colorwork, it's not been blocked. I have worn it once, but I need to block it just to even out the tension in the Colorwork a little bit. I think it will help the unevenness just even out a little bit. It's not too uneven. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I can tell that when I started it was a bit wonky, and as it went it definitely became easier to and quicker to knit up. So I have put a YouTube short which shows how I do the Colorwork with one yarn in each hand. So I have the blue, which is the contrasting color. Actually I switch for every row that's going to have the main color for the row that I'm working on. So if it's, for example, 5 white stitches, 2 blue, 5 white, 2 blue, I'll hold the white then in my main hand, which for me is the right hand. So English style, is that right? English style knitting, yeah, that's the usual one where I, yarn, do this motion, what's it called? And then I hold the smaller yarn, the contrasting yarn, the one that's used less in that row, in my less dominant hand. So for me that's my left hand, where it would be continental knitting for that hand. And I found that where it switches, so say the next row would be then 3 blues, 1 white, 3 blues, 1 white, or something like that. Like the ratio is higher for the blue color, then I'd swap and I'd put the blue in my dominant hand, which for me would be the English style knitting on the right side. And it's vastly increased the speed at which I knit. So that's what I do. And it's working out really great. So yeah, this is done. It fits really well. I'll probably wear it in the next video. But for now, you can just see the finished object. I have done 2x2 rib. I would prefer to have done a 1x1. So this one's got a 1x1 twisted rib, which is also not my favorite. So you can see, trial and error. That's how we go, right? Until we find the perfect combination of finishes and things that we do to find the right, style that we like, which is ultimately aiming for the perfect sweater. So for me, that would be a 1x1 normal rib with an Italian cast on or bind off, where it's nice, smooth, rounded edges. I found that that's to be my favorite. Not to say there's anything wrong with 2x2 or 3x3. There's a place for all of these things, but on my cuffs I prefer a 1x1 rib, I think. I did do it on the bottom, 1x1 rib, with an Italian cast off, so you can see it's nicely rounded there. Actually, I don't know if you can see, I've got my camera the other way today. Maybe I should turn it around so I can see what I'm showing, because right now I'm just staring at the back of a phone. So I don't even know if I'm in the frame. Anyways, so yes, Italian cast off, it's nice and rounded. And that's the 1x1 rib that I like. So if that was the cuff, I probably would have preferred that over the 2x2. But they're both okay. I just feel like that's stretched out a bit as well. Probably should have made that more like 40 stitches around the cuff. I think it's a bit more than that. Let's count quickly. 2, 4, 6, 4, 6, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52 stitches around the cuff. So a little bit wide for my wrists. I think 44 is pretty much my go-to stitch count for the perfect cuffs, I think. But it depends on the yarn, isn't it, and the gauge. Although I've now realized that I like 2.75 millimeters on all my cuffs. It just gives a really nice finish. So you can see that the rolled collar is 2.75 millimeter needle that was used, and it's 1x1 rib. So I'm getting there. I'm figuring out which is my favorite, and I think you should all do the same. We should all figure out what our favorites are and then just have these bespoke wardrobes that are just so nice. Anyway, so that's that finished object. I'm very happy with it. It is a warm sweater. It is wool, so the content is mostly wool, I think. I need to check the percentages, and it's very warm, feels very structured, and I like it. I like it a lot. Right, moving on. Oh, mohair everywhere because I'm wearing mohair. So let's obviously this is the ranunculus. If you don't know the ranunculus, it's Midori Hirose, Japanese, I want to say, designer, and her pattern went wild about a year ago, I think, and after about the 5th podcast I watched where the person was wearing the ranunculus, I thought, man, I have to, like, only good things were said about it. So I thought I'd give it a try personally, and yes, only good things. It's on like a 5.5 mil, I think I knitted this, so it knits up really quickly, and I think that's the appeal. It knits up really fast, it's fun, it has a really lovely outcome. Like, it's I can wear this to work, which is you know, smart casual, and it would fit in there. It would also fit on a casual day like today where I'm at home. So I really like it. This is knit with Drops Puna, which is 100% alpaca, which is why it's so flowy, and then Drops Kid Silk mohair, that one, the mohair silk yarn. Yeah, so it's given a nice flowy, airy, very warm jumper. I think I've spoken about this before, so I won't carry on too much about this one, but it's lovely. I wear it all the time. I grab this one and my other Drops Puna one, which is right here, the one I wore last time, this one. Just, it's also very flowy, and I love it. There's something about this Drops Puna that I really like. It's so soft and so like flowy and warm. Oh my goodness, it's so warm. I'm a very cold person. I think I give off all my heat, so it leaves me cold, so I need something really warm. Anyway, the sun is coming out. It's a lovely spring day today here in the UK, and I probably have a limited time for these, but I can still get good use out of them. So for now, that's what I'm wearing. Is my cotton tee that I'm designing from scratch. You can see my notes, they're very scientific. I'm a visual learner, so I like to draw things out, make sure everything is visually making sense. This one, I started off with an Italian cast on, which is, I think, my first time doing that. I always do the Italian bind off, but not usually the cast on. So like for sleeves, it's always top down, and then I cast off in the Italian cast off, but this one was Italian cast on, and it turns out it was actually the tubular cast on I was doing. So whoever put the video up on YouTube put the wrong title. And when I was done, I was thinking, I'm doing 2 setup rows of like double knitting. Doesn't that create like a tube? And it does. So I think that's what it is. Italian cast on is a bit more flat, and I think the tubular cast on is a bit more round. I'll show you what I mean. Right, so this is it. It's in black cotton, so I'm not sure how much you can see. But this is the cast on edge, and you can't see that it's puffy or tubular, if you like. So it's fine. It doesn't make like a bulge or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. Even in the dead of summer here in the UK, I still need a layer over like a tank top most days. So this is it. You can see the stitches, sort of. The front is adventurous. Basically, I'm throwing in, it's kind of like, it's like a similar vibe to Petite Knit's Ingrid sweater, where she has panels of different stitches, variations on like cables or like slip stitch diamonds, or she has like ribbing, like a row of ribbing, a row of diamonds, a row of, what does she have, seed stitch, you know, all these different stitches in panels, and it looks so good. And I've been kind of wanting to do the Ingrid sweater, but at the same time I feel like I want to just throw in my own favorite stitch kinds and see what that looks like first. So I was just waiting for a moment where I felt a bit inspired to start something like this, because it could go wrong. This is the risk with designing anything, is you need to put in the time and the effort with the risk that you'd have to rip out the entire thing and waste many hours of work and a lot of thought and brain power, and you might have to revisit the whole thing. But it's when I'm in the right mind space, then it's a risk I'm wanting to take. So I was just waiting for that moment, and it came. And I had this cotton, it's actually a 50-50 blend, cotton and what's it, polyester. So I'm not so keen on the polyester, but it makes it very soft. It's drops cotton light, yarn group B, which is a DK weight, and it has a 21 stitch gauge. So you could probably use any cotton DK weight, and there's something very similar if you have knitted anything where you know what the stitch count would be around your neck that you like, so something around 100 stitches. I've come to realize that's what I like, and because I always choose 2.75 millimeters, I kind of know what that's going to turn out to look like. So I just cast on, I did like I said, the Italian cast on, so I needed to measure out the length of yarn to start with before I started casting on. And lo and behold, I ran out 4 stitches before 100, so I cast on 96 stitches, and I thought, well, I'll keep going. I'm not going to pull back 96 cast on stitches and start again, so we'll just see how that looks. And so I did 96 stitches instead of 100, and turns out it's all right. Yes, I was going to do a double folded neckline, but I think in the cotton it doesn't quite look so nice. It's a bit holy, like you can see through it a bit, and double folded would have been a bit bulky as well, because cotton is quite a structure. Well, it's like a thicker yarn. It's not like alpaca where it just mushes in together, or like wool where it just mushes in together. It's quite it stands its ground. So single row is quite enough. I think double would have been too much. And then I don't know if you can see the patterns. I've done like a grid and a 2x2 rib with some garter ridges in between, some more patterns, and then I'm just doing a bunch of seed stitch at the moment. And then my plan is to do like a slip stitch lattice kind of for the next chunk, nice big chunk like that. My measurements, I like to measure from front and center, 20 centimeters down. Pretty easy. What is that in inches? 20 centimeters. This is not very precise. It's now at 23 centimeters. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, 23 centimeters. So 20 centimeters, about 8 inches. So from my neck center to under my arms, where I split for sleeves, is about 8 inches, 20 centimeters. And then I know to split for sleeves, cast on like 8 stitches under the sleeves is usually okay. And knit the body. So that's what I'm doing. I will put all my stitch counts and my experiments and notes on Ravelry. You can find me at Marilyn83. That's Marilyn with 2 N's, 83. And I'll put all my notes there in case you are kind of like a medium, size 10-ish, 12 UK size, and want to recreate something similar or compare your notes. You can do that. So 96 stitches around the neck, 20 centimeters or 8 inches down, split for sleeves, 8 stitches under each arm, and that's where I'm at. I'm really excited. It's got the flow, clinky clinky. It's got the flow, it's got the raglans. So when I split for when I put the markers for the raglan, I did 26 in the front, 26 in the back, 3 on each raglan, and then 8 and 8 to start off for each sleeve. And then I did my raglan increases after some short row shaping. So this one has short rows as well. 8 or 10 rows of short rows. And that was fine. The back is a little bit elevated, so let's see if I can show you here. There, you can see that's the, so if I hold the bottom, you can see the collar is higher at the back, which I like. I like a bit of short row shaping. Short rows are not hard if you're thinking about it and you haven't done short rows before. Just German short rows. It's the only one I know, and it works absolutely fine. Even in cotton, you can hardly see where the short rows have happened. I mean, I can't tell that there's any short rows going on. It's mostly over the sleeve area where the double stitches were picked up, but you can't really tell. Yeah, so anyway, this is what I'm working on, and I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to have a cotton top. It's actually to replace a store-bought one. So let me show you quickly. I have it here somewhere. Do I have it? Conveniently, I'm sitting right next to my wardrobe today, so. This I bought in South Africa a while ago, and it's just like, I love throwing this over what I'm wearing. It's very wide. Can you even see it? It's so wide that I can't even believe I put this on and wear it, but it's super cropped, and it's just really nice. You can see the kind of stitches. It has like a row of slip stitches and garter all over, and then it has like a 3x3 really tiny rib, and then 3x3 around the collar. You can see the woolworths, and this is a size medium, so you can tell this is for my size. It's just that oversized, and I wear this to death. And it's a beige, which kind of washes me out. So I was thinking, well, if I wear this so often, it's got tiny little sleeves. If I wear this so often, why don't I just knit myself a cotton version in black and see how I go with that. I'm just trying to see here the content.